Hey, happy Friday. How was your week? Good. Yeah, good. A few things happened. Listen, it's a bit early for me, but hey, Dave, send one over here. My friend over there. Yeah, help yourself. It's a good week. A few things happened. What's that? Just tell you one of them. You in a hurry? There's no one else to talk to here. Okay, I'll tell you about one thing. It'll be short. Yes, I know. I know. Famous last words. Change is hard. That's what I was thinking about this week. Change is hard. Well, I started that new job there a few weeks ago, and that's always hard. It gets easier, but you're always starting out new people. Although I know a lot of these people, but you're always meeting new people, new processes, and will they understand my humor? Do they know me? All of that stuff when you have a new change and stuff. I was thinking back to most difficult change I ever went through, and it was this day, Friday, before Labor Day weekend of 2005. And at the time, I'd been working for one bank for 15 years. I had come to the States, was working there 15 years. What was that? Why is there a glow? Oh, I had Ready Brek this morning. Why isn't it red? Glow? I don't know. It's a Ready Brek light. Can we get on with the story? Okay. So I'm 15 years with this company, and I kind of grow up there in a way. And I just feel like I need to change. And this friend of mine, Rob, comes along and meets me and says, "You want to work over this other place down the way at Sears Tower?" Sears Tower. What'd you talk about, Willis? That's right. Always and forever Sears Tower. Okay. Don't argue with me. So I'd interview, and all 2 weeks pass by, and there's a few interviews, and my insides are just churning up with fear. Because I've been with this crowd for 15 years. I had lifelong relationships, which I still keep connected with, but I was also very unskilled. I really wasn't sure if I could do this job. And this time, literally around this time in the afternoon, the Friday before Labor Day, the hiring manager, Jim, calls me and offers me the job. And at that point, I've been going back and forth. Shouldn't I take the job? Can I do it? Should I do it? And I decided to take off to a monastery in Iowa, where I would often go. And there was an old priest there called Father Tom. And right around 6 p.m. the Friday before Labor Day, I rented a convertible. And, it was fun, beautiful weather, really excellent weather. But even though all the creation around me was fantastic, there was just this turmoil inside of me that was completely out of connection with the peace I was seeing. So I pull into the monastery, and it's really quiet, and Father Tom is there, and I set up an appointment to meet him. And I was going to stay the weekend, but I chatted with him first, and I tell him everything that's going on and all that's on. And I have to make this decision over the weekend if I'm going to take the job. And he just sits there, and with his Canadian Irish voice, he just responds and goes, "Change is hard." And I started to cry. And I just released all of the tension I'd been carrying for the 2 or 3 weeks before then. And I was like, why? I was wondering, like, why am I crying? Like this, it was such a simple statement, and yet it was so profound because what he was saying was, what you're going through is just typical of what humans go through. Change is hard. And it was. And I started the job, and I made some great friends that new job, and I learned some great skills, but it was really difficult. There was some pain. I remember telling a joke that the other guys down the road would have thought was funny. And they're looking at these new guys are like, "Who's this guy?" So there was all of that going on too. But I was thinking about that this week because do you know that guy down the road up the way there, Michael O'Hammond? You know him? No, it's O'Hammond. His grandfather dropped the O at Ellis Island, I think. I'm just sticking the O back in. He was showing a picture of these flowers. And I'll probably mess it up because he's a smart fella. He had the flower, the bud, and then he had the flower, and then he had the seed. And he was saying how it's really becoming itself, right? We look at a flower and we have an expectation of what's going to happen, that it's going to go from bud, the flower, the seed. We kind of know it's going to happen. We know it's just going to do its thing and be what it was supposed to become. We don't look at it and say, oh, it's changing from a bud. Oh, it's changing into a flower and it's changing into a seed. And we certainly don't go change as hard. We just kind of know it's becoming that. And I say all that to say this. There are times where I think we just know we need to change. And it is hard. But you know what I think is harder is the other decision, which often we don't make, but we go to it towards default. And that is the decision not to change at all. And then to go to the end of our days with this ache inside of us, wondering, I wish I had done that. I wish I had taken that risk. I wish I had tried to do that. And I didn't because I was afraid of the change. I think it's either, I don't want to say embrace the change because that feels like embrace the cactus. Why would you do that? But just realize it's going to be a bit painful. But the alternative is worse because that's more of an ache. Now, I'm not saying that change happens all the time. I think there's just seasons where we have to go through change. If we were changing all the time, it would be awfully stressful. So you have to kind of figure out, do I want to make this change in this season? Let me quote another Irishman called Robert O'Toole. Now, they messed up his name on Ellis Island too, and he became Rob Toll. But he had it in his email signature, something that said, the mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation and go to the grave with the song still in them. It was actually Thoreau, remember, the guy who built the shed, the cabin, you know. And Mr. O'Toole did recognize that it was Thoreau. The mass of men, and ladies, Mr. Thoreau, we'll let it go because you're old. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation and go to the grave with the song still in them. Don't go to the grave with the song still in you. You have a song. It may not have been fully written when you came into the world, but you had the seeds of the song and you're writing the song as you go through the world. Why aren't you singing the song? And here's why you're not singing the song. Well, they may not like that bar. They don't like those words. Well, you know what? They don't have to listen to your song. They can listen to someone else's song, but there's a song that you have that's very unique to you, and you need to sing the song that you were given. And sometimes singing the song is going to require some bravery. Okay. Is that poetry part not working for you? Okay, let's go back to the original part then. As part of your evolution to become who you were supposed to be all along, it will require change. It will require a bit of pain. But if you don't choose to take that difficult road as part of your own evolution to become who you were supposed to be, I believe you'll look back and you'll be like the bud that never flowered. You'll be like the person who never sang their song. And you know what? It's going to make us all sad because we need to hear your song. The song isn't just for you to keep inside of you. The song is for you to share with the world and be fully alive and fully who you were supposed to be. So let it evolve and become the flower. And now, time for something completely different. This guy goes into a bar and he says to the bartender, no, I messed up the joke. Dave was distracting me over there. Did you get that drink over there yet? Oh, Dave, come on. It's not like he has anything to do. Hey, Dave. This guy goes into a bar and the bartender says to him, can I get you a drink? And the guy says, well, sure. I'll have a double Jameson. And the bartender gives him the double Jameson and he drinks it. The bartender says, that'll be £4. This is a while ago. The guy says, I'm not paying for that drink. You offered me a drink and I took it. He goes, don't be a smart ass. Give me the £4. He goes, I'm not, you offered me a drink and I accept it. Turns out there was a lawyer sitting beside him at the bar. The lawyer said, sir, to the bartender, I did hear the way you worded that offer. And in a court of law, this patron here could say that he has a right to get the free drink because you did in your wording make it sound like you were giving him a drink. So the bartender said to the guy who walked in, you know what, just get out of here. Just leave. Don't come back again, smart aleck. So 3 weeks later, the same guy walks in the bar and he walks up and the bartender says, hey, I kicked you out of here 3 weeks ago. I'm sorry. I kicked you out of here. And the whole, you remember the lawyer, the guy goes, I don't know what I've never been here before. I don't know what you're talking about. The guy lies. He goes, yeah. The whole, the lawyer that you didn't, you said I offered you the free drink. The guy goes, listen, I swear, I have never been here before. This is my first time in your bar. The bartender says, man, well, you must have a double. And the guy says, I don't mind if I do. Make it a Jameson. And there you go. Happy Friday, happy Labor Day, happy evolving into who you were supposed to be. And yeah, as Father Tom said, change is hard. But you know what? The alternative is worse. See ya.